Boom. All right. Good morning, IMT. I'm not sure why I'm saying morning. It's definitely not morning here, but I'm assuming that you saw that I had the leadership lesson this morning and you are going to get out of bed and see what I have to say. So, for those who did that, good morning. Those who didn't, I know who you are. And good afternoon, good evening to you as well. So, like I said, I'm Cadet Edwards, and today we're going to be talking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So before you continue with this video, go ahead, watch the YouTube video with the link. It's a quick 2 minutes, very simple, and it'll give you a baseline of what Maslow's hierarchy of needs are. If you know, go ahead, it'll teach you maybe something you didn't know, and if you didn't know, it's a baseline. You can kind of get the gist of everything. So with that video, the hierarchy, the base of the triangle, the pyramid, however you want to see it, is going to be the physical things. You know, the food, the water, the sleep. As you move up, you're going to get the safety. And that's going to be like your shelter and kind of like your day-to-day life. Make sure you have a place, kind of like a place to sleep. So then you get to belonging. Being a part of a group, you get to esteem, you get to like your competitive spirit, and you're seeing your progress, and then you get to self-actualization. So not only is this a picture of a triangle, but also a roadmap, and what you have to figure out first before you get to the next one. You have to get the base figured out into first before you get to the next level of the structure. So when we're looking at this, we're looking at it level by level. We can look at certain things and what it takes to accomplish those. And the way I look at it personally, because we're going to be reflecting this back to leadership, is that the Air Force is going to provide you almost every avenue you need to have to fulfill this Maslow structure. The Air Force, the organization of the Air Force, is going to take care of the first two, your physical needs and your safety. They're going to make sure that you have food on the table, you are paying your utilities, and you have a place to sleep. Safety. So you have your BAS and your BAH on top of your base pay in the military to make sure that those two levels are complete. So that's a big appeal of why a lot of people even enlist out of high school, is that I know for a fact at the very minimum those two levels will be complete, and then you can figure out life from there. So the organization of the military is going to provide that for you as a person. Now, when we get to 3 and 4, we're looking at a sense of belonging and esteem. Now we're getting more towards your leadership and what supervisors you have, who you're working with, who's above you telling you how to train, how to do things, right? So Air Force takes care of 1 and 2. Leadership takes care of 2 and 3. So, but first, before you can become a leader, it's your job to seek out getting all 5 of these yourself, right? You can't really help others before you can, before you take care of yourself. So, when we're looking at it, we're gonna kind of go through and see how to best help yourself, and then how that helps others. So, belonging, well, physical and safety, I've already said kind of the Air Force takes care of those things. But you also need to do it smart. Just because they give you the money to do it doesn't mean it's taken care of. If you have a mean car payment and you buy too big of a house because you want to flex on everybody, you want to be the best on the block, you're kind of putting your own safety and your own physical needs in jeopardy. You might have to foreclose on your house. You might have to, do this and that just to keep up with bills. And once you're overloaded with bills, you can't really take care of your own self, take care of your family, your household. So I'd like to first just say, be smart with your money, budget, do all these things, and the Air Force will allow you to take care of the first 2. Be smart, and it'll just happen. Second is going to be the next chunk, belonging and esteem. And I think you being here in ROTC is going to really help with that sense of belonging. Whenever I got my flight suit, it's progressive. I have a sense of belonging. Whenever I commission as an officer, sense of belonging into the active duty, sense of belonging into the pilot sector. It's going to be a progressive thing that happens throughout your life, but through the military, you get into a more exclusive club. So, for an example, like when camera switched. It's all weird. When you get this patch, you've probably seen this everywhere. I'm not sure if you can read that, but Det 895 Cascade Cowboys. That's my belonging right now, and that has a sense of pride. That helps me when I wear this. Before I put it on, I see the patches like, okay, I'm a part of something, and I have to maintain an image of something, and it also pushes me to be better. And this isn't just with the military, we have people at Central who want to be engineers to work for Boeing. When they get accepted to Boeing, they get that letter. That sense of belonging really helps them to push towards a fulfilled life. I'm gonna slow down. I feel like I'm talking a little fast. So, yeah, like I said with belonging, the more you continue to grow, and especially now in college, whenever you start to find yourself and where you're gonna go, that sense of belonging is going to be there. And then when we get into esteem, I look at that more as like accomplishments. Now you're getting into like the more competitive areas, right? So just graduating in the ROTC, you can get whatever job you want. You have that belonging. But it's whenever you get the distinguished graduate. It's whenever you get on scholarship. It's when you get accepted to pilot training. These things are what builds your self-esteem, which you should really be trying to head towards. But you really can't focus on DG and pilot until you have your belonging in your ROTC and getting accepted to POC and active duty, right? So you have to figure out first, let me graduate. Second, let me be above and beyond. What can I do to help my own esteem, and how does that help me as a person? Because whenever you get ready next year for field training, if you do get DG at field training, you do come to POC with a little more esteem, which helps you out in the bigger picture of things. And then all four of these, so those are really concrete ideas, and then we get to self-actualization. And that, I kind of look at it as like all four of them kind of give you like an avenue, or give you like the resource to then reflect and see what I want, right? So I'm using all these things. I'm in the Air Force. I'm trying to be the best I can be. I have my food and my house taken care of. Now I can find my passions. Now I can be, a little more outgoing with my time, and I can focus on kids. If you want kids, you can focus on your finance. You can focus on volunteer work. You can do all these things now because all of your essentials are figured out, right? I don't have to worry about my belonging because I'm a part of something. I'm continuing to build my esteem through my accomplishments. My finances through the Air Force are taking care of my first two levels of physical and safety. Now, what do I want to do, right? Kyrie Edwards is more than just a pilot. Kyrie Edwards is more than just a military member. Kyrie Edwards wants to have a family and wants to see other people succeed. So now I can start devoting my extra time to do these things, so I'm not focused with the other things. So, looking at you, what can you do, right? As an IMT, you are already a part of Det 895, and I hope that has some pride to it, and I hope that you see your progress. It doesn't have to be a certificate, but you see your progress with marching. You see your progress with ELPs, and you're hoping to build these the self-esteem part of things, to then eventually get to self-actualization. Kind of lost train of thought. I'm gonna put that pen down. Take care. Right. So, as you move forward, understand that yes, you can't skip over 1 to 2 to 4, right? That sense of belonging, you can't just skip belonging and have esteem, because it gives you the foundation of where you're going to have your esteem at, right? So have that belonging, be a part of something bigger than yourself. You always hear about that, right? Because that's whenever you start getting that fulfillment out of being a part of an organization, being a part of some kind of group. And once see this, and then the first part is very like inward facing. Figure out you're this,